In yoga, we move the spine 7 different ways. There's axial elongation to lengthen the spine. There's forward bending, back bending, side to side movement, and rotation to the right and to the left. In this practice, we'll focus on each of those movements in different yoga poses. We'll start lying on our belly. As you come to the mat, with your belly down, with your arms in a Sphinx position, spread your fingers, pull from the fingertips toward the elbows, elbows back toward the feet. So just draw your heart forward slightly, lift your chin. Exhale, see if you can just recover slightly, lifting the navel away from the mat. Again, draw your heart forward, pull from the fingertips back to the elbows and pause. Again, pull from the fingertips back to the elbows. See if you can go a little bit deeper. And pause. One last time. Pull from the fingertips. Draw your heart forward. Get this nice strong action of the arms. And now release out of the pose. Extend your hands just a little bit farther forward in that same movement. Even if your hands are off the mat, it's fine. Pull back from the fingertips. See if you can lift up slightly in this different variation of a cobra pose. Take the elbows down, same thing. Strong action, pulling from the elbows back to get your heart to move forward. Slowly lift up, rely on the strength of your back muscles. Take your elbows down. One last time, pull back as your heart reaches forward, lift up. And take the elbows down to the mat. Take the hands in a baby cobra pose by taking the hands alongside your ribs. Hug your elbows in and inhale. Just pulse up, lift up slightly. Exhale, soften. And 2 more times. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, soften. 1 more, inhale, rise up, and exhale, soften. From cobra pose, come to all fours. In all fours position, with your knees right under your pelvis, lift your feet up, draw your feet over to the side, and look over your shoulders to your feet. Inhale, lift your feet up, swing your feet to the opposite side, look over your right shoulder. Inhale, lift your feet up, go to the left. Step your right hand forward to give a nice stretch as you draw your pelvis back, and you're looking over your left shoulder. Back to center, take your feet to the right. Reach your left arm and draw slightly back. Come back to all fours position. One last cycle. Take your feet over to the left. Step your right hand just above your left hand as you look over your shoulder toward your feet. Come back to the all fours position before swinging your feet to the right. Step your left hand up and over as if to almost stack it on top of the right hand as you look over your right shoulder and draw back slightly. Inhale, rise up. Those stretches provide a nice length on the right side and the left side. From all fours position, take your knees wide apart. Draw your big toes together. Walk your hands over toward the right side. Stack your left hand on top of your right hand. Lift up slightly. Inch your fingers to the right and draw down. Let's do 2 more pulsations of the breath. Inhale, lift up to continue the stretching of the side body, and exhale, draw down. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, draw down. Take your hands back to center and travel all the way to the left side. As you draw to the left side, stack your right hand on top of your left hand. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, settle deeper into the pose. Maybe you can inch your fingers a little bit further away from your pelvis. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, draw down. 1 more. Inhale, lift up. Exhale and soften. Come back to the center. Make your way to all fours position. In all fours position, step your right foot to the side. Line up the arch of the right foot with your left knee. Rise up. With your palm open, you're externally rotating your hand. Let the hand slide down toward the foot. Lift your left arm up. Reach it over as if you're trying to clap the hands. Inhale, rise up. More lengthening to the side body. As you reach your right hand to the side, the left side stretches. Inhale, rise up. 1 more time. Stay in the pose just a little bit longer as you slowly make your way a little bit deeper in the side stretch. Inhale, rise up. Back to all fours position. Step your left foot to the side. Sometimes you might need a little padding for your knee. So go ahead and provide that if you need it. As you step your left foot to the left side, externally rotate the left arm. Reach down toward the ankle. Take your right arm up and over. Inhale, rise up. Again, reach over. Inhale, rise up. And a 3rd time. Reach up, reach over, and see if you can hold the pose just a little bit more. As you breathe in to the side body, as you take the spine, not only in a side stretch, but in spinal flexion as well. Inhale, rise up. Very nice. From stretching the right side and the left side, getting length to the side body. Now let's apply that in back bending. So come to all fours position. As we begin to work on spinal extension, from all fours position, tuck your toes under, draw your heart forward, and your shoulders might come slightly forward of your wrist creases. Now keep your pelvis lifted, but bend your elbows to take your heart down to the mat. See if you can hold this pose. Just breathe in and breathe out long. 1 more cycle of the breath. Now push forward, push way forward, and draw down. Come to a baby cobra. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, soften. Come back to all fours position to a kneeling position. With your toes tucked under, come to a variation of Ustrasana or camel pose. From a kneeling position, we'll open the arms with the elbows slightly bent. Do a nice back bending action. And now internally rotate the arms. Take them slightly back and bow forward. Inhale. Externally rotate, thumbs draw down. You open up Exhale with the elbows slightly bent. Just draw the hands back. A little spinal extension and spinal flexion as you open up. Exhale, draw it down into a forward fold. Inhale, come up to a kneeling position again. So now we'll apply the lengthening of the right and left sides and the back bending and the little forward bending by coming to downward facing dog and lifting one leg to go into a pose that we call wild thing. Come to downward facing dog. Pause as you find your downward facing dog. Just allow for nice even flow of the breath. Nice long in breath and out breath. As you're ready, lift your right leg in the air. Engage your right leg. Spread your toes of the right foot. Lift your right hip a little bit higher than the left. Bend your right knee. Now that might just be fine for you, but if you want to go really wild in this pose, allow your right foot to come to the left side of your left foot. So touch down and open up into a nice back bending action. And see if you can gracefully come back to the downward facing dog that you were in. And breathe in and out long. Keep a nice ease to your breath. Breathe in deep and out long. And as you're ready, lift up your left foot. Lift it higher so that the left hip is higher than the right hip. Bend your left knee. Keep your right armpit lifted. See if you can start to move, maybe even tapping the left foot down to lift yourself up. Now gracefully come back to downward facing dog. Make your way to all fours position. In all fours position, take your left hand to your low back. Inhale, just open your chest nicely. Look down toward the mat. Inhale, open your chest. Exhale, soften. Again, inhale and exhale. Now take your left arm up. Exhale, thread it right under your right armpit. Reach it to the right side. Inhale, take your left arm up. Exhale, thread it right under your right armpit. Inhale, lift your arm up. Exhale, reach it to the side. And lift yourself up to all fours position. Place the right palm to the low back. Open your palm nicely. Inhale, lift your right shoulder. Exhale, soften. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, soften. Keep pushing the back side of the hand to your low back and open up. Exhale, soften. Now with the right arm straight, inhale, lift up. Thread it right under your left armpit. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, reach it out. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, thread it right below the armpit. Come to all fours position. Step your hands one handprint higher. Tuck your toes under. Lift your pelvis up. Take your feet as wide apart as your mat is. And in this forward fold, downward facing dog, with the spine in flexion. Now walk your hands toward your feet and bend your knees. As you bend your knees quite a bit as if coming toward a squat position. Place your hands right in front of your heart in this squat position. Now see if you can lightly take your pelvis down to the mat. From here, come to Sukhasana, which is a cross-legged pose. For some of us, getting on a little bit of elevation, such as a blanket or even blocks, really helps out because we can get our knees more aligned with the pelvis. From Sukhasana, let's work on spinal length. So reach your arms up. Just get this nice fullness in your pose. And drop your right hand down. Reach your left arm up and over your head and just bend your right elbow. Inhale, rise up. Take both arms up. You can keep the hands nice and wide apart. Draw your left hand down, bend your elbow, reach over, and inhale, rise up, lift both hands up. Now draw over to the right side again, and just drop in just a little bit. Now see if you can use your right hand to get even more length. So it's almost like you're lifting up your ribs slightly away from the pelvis as you reach over. Inhale, free the hand, rise up, get that nice axial elongation again. Take your left hand down, reach over in the same way that we were doing. And see on this side, as you take your hand just to the low rib area, can you lift to get more length to the side body? Inhale, lift both arms up again for that nice axial elongation, and let's do some rotation to the right. So as you twist toward the right side, let your left hand draw down. Take your right hand behind you and walk your right hand toward your left cheek and press down. You're pretty close to your pelvis with your hand kind of acting as a kickstand, and you get more length. Come out of the rotation, lift your arms up, get that nice axial elongation again. Twist, take your right hand to the outside of the left leg, take your left hand behind your back, walk it over to your right cheek, press down and get even more length. Come back to the center position. Wrap your legs the opposite direction. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, take your hand down, draw over. Use your right hand to get length. Inhale, free the right hand, come up. Exhale, left hand comes down, right arm draws over. And the left hand works to get that length. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, release your hands. From the cross-legged position, Keep your right knee just like it is, with the right foot drawing in toward your pelvis, and reach your left leg out. And as you do, with the back of the left hand reaching toward your left foot, reach your right arm up and take it over as if you're trying to tap the left foot. Inhale, rise up. Bend your left knee, reach your right leg out. Take the back of your right hand to just draw down. Float the back of your right hand down toward your right foot. Turn your heart toward your left knee. Reach your left arm up. Reach over. Let your breath just help guide you to more fullness to the left side. Inhale, lift yourself up to come out of the pose. Lie on your back. Lift your pelvis up. Move your pelvis slightly to the right. Wrap your right thigh on top of your left. Maybe you can sneak your right foot into a double wrap there so that it's to the inside of the right ankle. If that works for you, take your arms in a cactus pose. Lift your left foot off the mat and draw the right knee over toward the left side. Reach your right arm just a little bit more. You can come from the cactus pose to get a little bit more length on the right side, but keep your right shoulder down. Now slowly lift your knees up, unwrap your legs. With the knees bent, lift your pelvis up. Take your pelvis toward the left side of your mat. Wrap your left thigh on top of your right and see if you can do the double wrap. Lift your right foot up off the mat and draw the left knee toward the right side. And just pause here. If you'd like to extend your left arm to get a little bit more length to the left side, do that, but try not to forfeit the rootedness of your left shoulder. Allow your breath to create length. Even try to lift your right ribs up slightly and draw your left ribs down. Now slowly lift your knees back up, unwrap your legs, and have your feet hip distance apart. With your feet hip distance apart, draw your elbows down and have the palms face each other. As you slowly lift your pelvis up, press your head back. Now hold your bridge pose as you allow for a nice fullness to your breath, solid engagement of your legs. Maybe you can even engage your hamstrings by drawing from your heels toward your heart. Really have the back side of the legs help you in the lift of this pose. Take 3 more breaths. You breathe in deep and out long. Breathe in, breathe out long. Breathe in, And breathe out long. Slowly make your way to Shavasana. Allow your pelvis to settle to the mat. Release your arms. Extend your legs. Close your eyes. Receive a nice full in-breath and a long out-breath. This is your time to assimilate the actions. We move the spine in 7 different ways. In flexion, in extension, lateral lengthening on the right side and the left side, rotation to the right and to the left, and a nice lengthening, axial elongation, lengthening of the spine. 7 different movements. And you allow this time to just kind of assimilate the actions of the practice. A time to just settle in. A time to attune to your breath. You hear the sound of your breath. You can feel the movement of the breath as the ribs move against the skin and the skin moves against the mat. Let this be a pose of rejuvenation, of restoration. A pose where you're able to discover and rediscover aspects of your breath, the movements that you did in the practice, and discover a sense of ease. Maybe a sense of surrender. You keep your attention to the ease of the inflow, the ease of the outflow. The breath just flows very free and naturally. enjoy this time in Shavasana. Namaste.